There's something almost ritualistic about alcohol. It's there at birthdays, weddings, holidays, funerals, celebrations, and sorrows alike. It's the universal toast, the social lubricant, the late-night escape hatch. But somewhere deep inside, most of us have felt it. That strange emptiness that follows the high. That hollow aftertaste no amount of laughter or dancing can fill. And if you've ever felt that, you're not crazy. Because what if alcohol isn't just affecting your body? What if it's draining your energy, clouding your perception, and creating tiny fractures in the part of you that's most sacred? What if every sip comes with an invisible price tag? In this video, we're going far beyond the physical effects of alcohol. We're diving into the spiritual and energetic truth that most people never talk about, the one hidden behind ancient words, sacred texts, and esoteric teachings. Let's begin where most never look, with the origin of the word itself. Words carry power. And the word alcohol has a very old story behind it. Its root is Arabic, al-kuhl, a term that originally referred to a fine black powder used to line the eyes, known today as kohl. But in the practice of alchemical science, this word evolved. Al-kuhl came to describe the soul of substances, the most volatile, refined extract taken from matter. In mystical language, it was the spirit of a thing, separated through distillation. Let that sink in. The word alcohol didn't begin as a beverage. It began as a force that removes essence from form. Some ancient texts even define al-kuhl as a body-eating spirit, something that pulls the soul out of flesh that disembodies. Now think about this. Why do we still call alcoholic drinks spirits? Why is the very term tied to extraction, separation, and essence removal? Could it be that alcohol still functions this way, on a spiritual level, even if we don't consciously see it? The ancients weren't just being poetic. They were describing real energetic mechanisms. Mechanisms we've forgotten. To be fair, not all ancient cultures condemned alcohol. Some revered it, but only under strict circumstances. The Greeks drank wine in honor of Dionysus, god of ecstasy and divine madness. His rituals weren't about getting wasted. They were about dissolving the ego to touch something greater. In Egypt, beer and wine were offered to Osiris and consumed during festivals of rebirth and fertility. In Sumeria, the goddess Ninkasi was worshipped through hymns and brews. But here's the crucial difference. These cultures treated alcohol like a sacred substance, not a Friday night escape. Rituals were timed with the stars, accompanied by offerings, chants, and energetic protection. The drink was not the point, it was a gateway, a controlled catalyst. Because they knew, alcohol opens doors. It softens the boundary between realms, between the conscious and subconscious, the human and the unseen. And if you open that door without respect, without guidance, without awareness, you're not just partying. You're inviting in chaos. You are not just a physical body. You are a field of energy. An electromagnetic, vibrational system, layered with emotion, memory, and soul. Mystics call this your aura, your subtle body, your spiritual armor. And alcohol? It punches holes in that field. It doesn't just slow your reaction time or impair your liver. It lowers your frequency. It scatters your energy. It disrupts the coherence of your entire energetic system. You may feel loose and uninhibited, but underneath the surface your spiritual boundaries are dissolving. Rudolf Steiner, a spiritual scientist and clairvoyant, once said, "Alcohol severs the connection between the physical body and the higher bodies." In other words, when you drink, your soul steps back, and that leaves a vacancy. And in that vacancy, other things can move in. Many spiritual traditions speak of discarnate entities, energetic parasites, or lower astral beings, forces that feed on fear, confusion, lust, and addiction. They don't possess you like in horror movies, but they can attach, subtly steering your emotions, cravings, even your thoughts. This is why, after heavy drinking, people often say, "I wasn't myself. I blacked out. I did things I'd never normally do." Because quite literally, you weren't all there. Let's talk about your chakra system, your energetic blueprint. Alcohol heavily stimulates the lower chakras, the root, sacral, and solar plexus, governing survival, sex, and ego. At the same time, it shuts down the higher chakras, your heart, your intuition, your inner wisdom. Your third eye fogs up. Your crown disconnects. Your inner compass spins. You feel uninhibited, but it's not freedom, it's disorientation. What replaces spiritual awareness is animal impulse. temporary pleasure, instinct without consciousness. And in that state, many end up in energetically dangerous environments, clubs, parties, chaotic bars, where everyone's aura is leaking, colliding, absorbing. It's not just a party. It's an energetic battlefield. And the hangover? That's not just dehydration. It's your soul trying to reintegrate. Your energy trying to seal itself back up. So why do we keep going back? Why do so many people, even those on a spiritual path, still reach for the bottle? Because alcohol offers us a false version of what we deeply crave. We want peace. It gives us numbness. We want connection. It gives us temporary bonding. We want courage. It gives us impulsiveness. We want freedom. It gives us escape. But none of it lasts. Alcohol is a shortcut with a price. It mimics higher states of consciousness, but never delivers the transformation. It's like using a credit card for spiritual relief. You feel better now, but the debt comes later. And that debt adds up, not just in your body, but in your soul. Here's the good news. You can undo the damage. You can close the energetic holes, lift your frequency, and rebuild your inner clarity. But it takes time, intention, and consistency. Start with presence. Breathe deeply. Drink water consciously. Meditate to seal your aura. Use sound frequencies to restore coherence. Spend time in nature, barefoot, connected to earth. Fast from toxic substances and environments. And most importantly, forgive yourself. You didn't know. Now you do. The spiritual path isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. When you stop running, numbing, and distracting, you come home to your own presence. You discover that you already have everything you were chasing through the bottle. Peace, joy, connection, confidence. It was never missing, just buried. So I'll leave you with this. Next time you find yourself reaching for a drink, pause. Ask yourself, what am I really craving? Maybe it's not alcohol. Maybe it's silence. Maybe it's presence. Maybe it's your own soul calling you back. You don't need to become a monk. You don't need to be perfect. Just become aware. Because the moment you see the pattern, you have the power to change it. The moment you choose to stay present instead of escaping, that's the moment you begin to reclaim your light. If this video stirred something in you, let it stay stirred. Reflect, journal, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's start a conversation about conscious living, about subtle truths, about things hidden in plain sight. Because alcohol is just one piece of the puzzle. And once you see through this illusion, you begin to see through many. Stay present. Stay radiant. Stay sovereign. Your soul came here to awaken, not to be numbed.